everybody, and welcome. Hope you guys are having a good time. Woohoo! Live stream number one today, and of course, here it is currently 11:30 a.m. on Tuesday, the 23rd of August. Your host, Superman, in the house, and welcome back to Hex Token channel. Woohoo! As we say, we get excited because Pulsechain will be coming at some stage, so we're just going to be broadcasting all the way up to that point, and then past it. That's just the way it goes. It's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, it's going to be the biggest thing in crypto. So get excited every single day when you wake up. Get excited because it's coming. It's coming. Hey, let's get into it. We got a big welcome from Hex Token, and of course, CJ in the house. Good to see CJ. Wookie needs to go to work on his Jedi power second again, says Wookie. Yeah, got to get that first place there. Focus on the force there, Wookie. And of course, Dave down under question, please. How can the snapshot happen without the launch of Pulsechain first? Where do the copy coins go? They're going to fork the block height there, Dave down under. So the block height will get forked. And obviously, with the Pulsechain test network at the moment, we've currently got a current block height. Let me just pull it up. I wasn't going to talk about that, but let's do it. Let's pull up the GitLab here. And of course, you can see that if we go to the testnet, Pulsechain test network down here, we can see that it's got a particular block height that they fork. And of course, you can actually see that here. We'll scroll down, I think it's a little bit further. Here it is here. Congratulations. This is for the Pulsechain test network. You can say when the mainnet goes live, it's going to be a similar thing. Existing Ethereum accounts that have balances as of block 14,360,999. Otherwise, the March of 10th at 7:30 at night, 7:30 in the PM UTC time, will have their balance on Pulsechain test network. So basically, the same thing's going to happen for mainnet. There'll be a block height that will get forked off there. And everything that will be on that with the balances and coins and things like that, that's all going to be there. So cool. That's pretty much how that's going to work. And of course, you can see Pulsechain test network currently running at the moment at 3 second blocks there. Nice, with 188 a million wallets there as well. Currently over 1.5 billion transactions on there with almost 19 million block heights there, just kicking away 3 second blocks. There's 2 transactions in that block. See that? That's gone. 2 transactions in that block there. They just keep ticking along there on the blockchain. So very cool. Hopefully that is quick tabs on that. Let's have a look around here. We've got a few others in the house there. Hey, Fat Sammy. Good to see you. Hi, fam. Good to see Fat Sammy in the house. Hex Token channel member as well. What else out there? Fat Sammy was answering that question too. Hello, what's up, Superman? Let's go, Hex. Says Mikey. Hey, Mikey. Good to see you in the house. We got OQ Arans in the house. Hi, good to see you. And Brennan as well. Good morning, Superman. A close call last night. Thanks for your help again. Hey, Brennan, you're welcome. And just keep safe, everybody. Keep safe. Good night, says Ukarant. Good night to you. What else we got there? Hexodal says so hot here today, says Hexodal. And 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow, that's pretty hot there. Hey, look, we've had a lot of rain here down under in good old Kiwi land. It's rain all the time. It's been true in Australia as well. And today it is sunny. The sun is shining. It's been raining for, I don't know, it feels like months. And of course, we're only about a week away from the end of winter, which means in the north there, you're probably a week away from the end of summer. So there we are. We're about to flip the seasons. Here we go. Great White in the house as well. Howdy to all. Good to see Great White. Lorix in there too. Pulsechain will be the biggest thing in crypto. It will be. It's going to take over crypto. So we're just being patient. Proof of weight, as we call it. There's more patience required. But when it does launch, it's going to be so good. It might be, it might be a couple of months away still. Might be the beginning of 2023 or something like that. The end of highest stakes. That definitely looks like it's probably the more plausible launch time. But hey, that's not that far. I mean, look where we are now. We've already waited. It's now August the 23rd. So, I mean, it's not too far till Christmas time, right? It's coming up there. Loric is here. Definitely, that is true. And a gentleman says, good morning, everybody. Good morning to you both. All right, cool. Let's get into it. We got the stock market news. Of course, here we go. The Dow slumps as tech and crosshairs on hawkish Fed. So remember how we had a couple of weeks of really good bull run there on the stock market? Now we're starting to get some of the dovish talk already, and we're miles away from the September 21st interest rate rise. So this is what the media does. Obviously, we've got some meetings coming up in between that the Fed holds that gives some indication of whether they're going to be a hawkish or dovish. And we also have in September, We'll have another inflation update for August, and of course employment data as well, which will feed into any decision. So let's check it out. Let's have a look at the commodities first. So the indexes on the stock market, the Dow Jones, the top 30 industrials, down 643 points. So a pretty big pullback today for the stock market, down 1.9% to 33,063. The S&P 500 is down 90 points, or just over 2.25% there. Well, sorry, just 2.14% and down, and that's at 4137. The Nasdaq, with a lot of the tech companies in it, is at 1238, down 323 points, and that's over 2.5% down on the tech companies there. So quite a decent pullback there in the market, and of course a risk off, as it were. We've got S&P 500, the volatility index, up 15%. That's a pretty big increase, and of course that's risk on. Risk on. Yeah, sorry, no, risk off there. We've got risk off there with the volatility index, and risk on. I'm switching around there. Risk off there. So and risk on is on with the volatility index. I had it right the first time. And we've got the dollar index there is up about 0.75% as well against its trading partners. So the US versus trading partners. Let's have a look at the commodity indexes here. We've got West Texas here at the commodity prices. West Texas here is up 39 cents to $90.75, just under 0.5%. And of course Brent oil there is pretty flat there at 96.69, so still hanging around the 70 and the 90s there. And of course gold there currently at 17.49, up 80 cents. Silver at $18.89. That's pretty flat really, and that's pretty much it for the markets. So let's scroll down to some of the commentary. Now, obviously, the orange colors indicates more of a negative outcome at the moment. So the Dow slumped Monday, pressured by a sea of red in tech as Treasury yields continued to climb on fears that the Federal Reserve could spring a hawkish surprise later this week. In other words, being more hawkish for interest rate rises in September. The tech stocks picked up from where they left off last week as rising Treasury yields, the enemy of stocks that have high valuations, piled on the pressures with just days to go until the Federal Reserve is expected to deliver fresh clues on monetary policy as it's at its annual Jackson Hole Symposium later this week. So obviously they're going to get a bit more clues about what the Fed will do on the 25th September. And of course, I did a video about the window of opportunity. We have a window of opportunity up to this point. Obviously, we've got this Jackson Hole Symposium. We've also got, as I say, the inflation and employment data coming in September. Those are probably the only things that's going to really give us a sentiment for the market. But that Fed Reserve interest rate right's not till the 25th September. So we have a bit of a window of opportunity there for the market to do some things. More hawkish, bullet more green things than red things. A more hawkish tone is likely to set the stage for a more aggressive rate move next month, while a softer or more dovish tone will expectedly reinvigorate hopes of a lesser size move, which is good for the markets, right? So that's what we're looking for there. So difference maybe between, say, 75 basis point interest rate rise versus a 50 basis points in September. Those are going to probably be pretty significant from the market's point of view. Now, the other big comment here, which is slightly positive, and that is energy was relatively outperforming a sector on the day, down about 0.2%. So if the down number is positive, then it's relatively positive compared to the decreases in the other markets. As oil prices recovered losses after Saudi energy minister touted the prospect of major oil producers cutting costs to ensure that oil future prices reflect the current supply and of demand fundamentals. I think that's a bit of a no news, but hey, that's what was in the comment there. So that's pretty much it for the stock market. Let's jump straight to the crypto market. We've got BTC at $21,228, down 1.6% at the moment. We've got Ethereum there at $15.94 at down 1.8%, and BNB still holding on to $300 there, but down 0.7% there. Really, what we want to do, if we want to get a more bullish tune back on, we want BTC to probably get back over 22,750 and ultimately over 23K there for the bullish scenario to play out. Otherwise, we could weaken down further, and of course, we know what happens there. We get some pretty big sell-offs there. So pretty important place at the moment where we are at this stage. Obviously, ETH has still got the ETH merge coming up. Will we get a second round of speculation leading into the ETH merge on the 15th of September? Currently, approximate expected time for that. So we'll be just obviously see how the markets go, and obviously the whether we find out about the Jackson Hole Symposium and how much that impacts the tone of the markets generally, stock and crypto markets. Let's jump over to Hex. Hex at the moment at 4.8 cents. Pretty seems like it's always at 4.8 cents. Is that you or me? I know it's not always at 4.8 cents, but it feels like that sometimes. 4.8 cents is where we're at the stage. I think it was at 4.8 cents a lot yesterday. That's probably why I think that's all there at the moment. So 4.85 is kind of where we're at this moment. We're actually at the high of the day. So the low so far. Now, remember, every chart that you look at is going to be on different time zones. Mine's currently got 12 hours to go on this chart, so it's half a day so far. And it's 4.857 at the moment. So the low of the day so far was 4.7. Yesterday, of course, we had a low of 4.7, a high of 5.2. So the chart's actually not looking too bad. We got the top of the Bollinger Bands in blue. That's the top 95% of the price range, currently at 7 cents, and the bottom is at 3.9 cents. So pretty similar to yesterday. And the 50% mark in red there is at 5.47. So at the moment we're under that. We've got our yellow line, the EMA 13, gives us a good idea of a trend reversal. So definitely one big indicator compared to the red 50% price line that has gone below, of course, crossed below, which is bearish, generally speaking, and that is currently at 5.3. But the thing is that we had such a sharp move down that this could end up crossing back over. And of course, you can see we get some stuff like that happening here. We have a sharp move down, and then, of course, it can cross back up over again. So we were looking out for that too. Let's have a look, see whether we can get any other indicators. Obviously, there's a bit of a fight going on between the buyers and sellers in Hex at the moment. So we've got the sellers took back control, but the buyers are not. It's not over yet. The buyers came back a bit yesterday, and we've got a bit of a fight going on here. So you can see these previous fights between the buyers and sellers back here. Let's see how that goes. We've got the RSI is recovered a bit here, so moving a bit more in the upward price position. So we're currently at 45. This is the oversold territory. This is the overbought territory here, above and below 30 and 70. So there we are. Let's have a look at the stochastic RSI. This is very bullish. So this is one of our bullish indicators here. This is crossed in the oversold territory and moving back up. So you can see that here when we get oversold, and a good chance, man, if we got a rally like that, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? But sometimes it can get maybe halfway. You can see these ones didn't quite have a full rally, but they did pretty well on the trend reversal. We could also get this sort of noise here where we get the crossover, but then it comes back down again. So we'll be watching that. But at the moment, that's kind of positive. So we'll see how we get on for the rest of the day. But so far, looking not too bad at this stage. But of course, we have got the symposium coming up later in the week. All right, let's jump over to the Hex Whalebot. We had a pretty cool Hex stake here at almost 10 million Hex stake from 5555. That was in that, and of course that is part of the actual Icosa HSIs as well. So that's kind of cool. Nice to see that play out. Let's jump over. I think that was probably it. We had something else here. Yeah, we had 4 million Hex bought 4 hours ago for 193,000. So these are the two major moves over the last 24 hours. So not a lot of action. And of course, that's given Hex a bit of a chance to breathe, as we can see right there. So very cool. Let's have a quick look at the price charts for everything. And we've got Hedron currently at 1948. So pretty similar to yesterday. Just trading in a very short range at the moment on the chart. This is on a different timetable. So this chart's about to finish in 15 minutes. So very different from the other one, which was on Dex Screener. Dex Tools. This is a Dex Screener. And of course, this chart's my time is about to roll over to a new day in 15 minutes. And currently the low so far, 1875, a high of 2039, and currently at 1948. So really sitting right in the middle in a very tight band. So that's cool. We have a quick look at Icosa as well. So Icosa down the bottom here. And we're going to full screen that. Icosa at $1.44 at the moment. Obviously moving pretty closely with the Hex because of the HSI sales there. So that's cool. Let's jump into Icosa Day 8 results. Woohoo! Yeah, the crowd goes wild. Yay! Icosa Day 8 results. Before we do that, let's get into a couple more comments so I don't get too far behind. What else we got? What else? Jenna Annette. Good morning, everybody. Good, genuine. Uncle Will says summer blast tour mad. to Mad October in Southern Texas. All I want for Christmas is Pulsechain, said Brennan. I like that one. We could have a nice song about that. InvestX in the house. Hello, all. InvestX in the house. I love that. I said that and then you said it. That's funny. Summer lasts until mid-October in Southern Texas, says Uncle. I'm sure it does in Texas, that's for sure. Hi, all. Catching up from the start in something farm next few weeks, says Sam. Nice, Sam. Good to see you in the house, by the way. The Bolster RH said there are two teams trying to break Pulsechain. Assuming he's telling us the truth, you can't break something that isn't finished. Says that's true, Pulse player. We're excited about that, to be honest. Harvey Diaz in the house there. Good vibes. Good to see Harvey. Less than 50% likes. Yeah, pump it. Yeah, smash that like button. And, of course, we hit 5 for 5 yesterday. It was a pretty cool milestone. Let's see where we're at the moment. We hit 5 for 5 yesterday. That was pretty cool. I think we're trying to – are you kidding me? No, really? We hit 5 for 5 yesterday. You won't believe it. We're at 5599. We're one away from 5600. That's so cool. I appreciate the support, everybody. KD says, hey, everybody. Woohoo, Superman in the house. Hey, KD, smash those likes. Yeah, definitely. Very, very nice. So we're almost at 5,600 subscribers. That's really neat. All right, cool. Let's move forward. Now, obviously, we've just covered the Hedron price, which is pretty stable. And, of course, the Icosa price following the Hex with the HSI costs there. Let's jump over to the Icosa results for the end of the day. We're pretty much there, give or take 10 minutes. Let's have a look at the results. Let's have a look here. So this is day number 8. We're currently at 37.59 billion points for Icosa staking. That's 37.59 billion points for Icosa staking. We're currently on Hedron at 64,000 trillion points. So 64,000 trillion points for Hedron staking. And we're going to look at the actual numbers around that in terms of the tokens. We Are All SA is at 15.12 trillion points. And this is probably the more interesting one because this is going to be really scarce once the mint phase is over. Remember, 14-day mint phase, day 8 is finished. So that leaves 6 more days to go. Wow, for 6 more days to go. So 15.12 trillion points. And there, the average NFT size of 1.15 billion points for the average NFT. The total supply, 13,120 watts of NFTs. Now, this will be relatively scarce. Now, if you think people aren't going to take the NFTs out to get the yield, you will be mistaken. Every time I've seen something similar to this, NFTs will get claimed, and you'll be surprised how many will get claimed in the first year. It will surprise you. And, of course, that's not investment advice, but I've seen this before. People claim these and, of course, claim the yield. We will see how that goes. Now, quite a few people are doing multiple strategies, so they're getting multiple NFTs. So they can claim yield when they want to. It's a bit like a staking ladder. I'm going to claim yield every 6 months. I'll take this one out, this one out, this one out. So you'll see a lot of that going on. And some of the larger holders as well, they've gone into here, have got some pretty big numbers of NFTs that they're going to do that over time. So pretty interesting. You can see that behavior already indicated. All right, cool. So let's have a look on the blockchain, see where these numbers are in terms of tokens. So we're going to jump over to Icosa. And, of course, here is the supply. So let's have a look here. We've got 756,284 Icosa in the total supply. Now, this is kind of the liquid supply. We have to go down to the recontract and look at the stake supply there. So let me get my calculator out. Let's add this. I'm just going to add the thousands up there. So 756, so 756,000. And we're going to add that to the staking pool. Let's go down to the bottom here. Icosa staked here, number 18, was it? Yeah, Icosa staked. So let's have a look at that. So 9723, so 9.7 million. So we're going to add that to 8,723,000. So 8723. I think that's correct. Yeah, so we're sitting at about 9.5 million in supply now. So 9,479,000. So about 9.5 million Icosa in supply now. Pretty cool. And of course, that excludes the yield that people are going to get. So 9.5 million Icosa, pretty rare, relatively speaking. Let's jump over to, so that was Icosa. So we talked about Icosa there. Now we're going to look at the Hedron tokens. And of course, Hedron in total supply, there's 93.4 trillion Hedron, 20,718 wallets. Now remember that with Icosa, when people stake, the Icosa gets burned, whereas Hedron, that doesn't happen with Hedron. So it just stays in the staking pool here. And we've got 15 trillion Hedron that is currently staked at the moment. So that's pretty impressive. And of course, we got that's worth $29 million. That's 16.1% of Hedron is staked at the moment. So it's pretty neat. So that is the Hedron number. So let's jump down to We Are All SA again, and we're going to have a look at the blockchain. And of course, this is just really confirming the amounts that there are, but there's 13,123 Watts NFTs at the moment. But this is the interesting number that we don't get on the DApp. That is, there's 4,449 holders at the moment holding these. So what's that? That's probably a 3 to 1 ratio. So 13, 1, 2, 3 divided by a 4,449, and that is 2.94 NFTs per wallet. So 1 to 3 ratio there for interesting stuff. So cool. We can go to the holders, of course, and have a look at a few extra things there. You can see the top holders here: 205, 123, 122. So a lot of big positions, and there's some big players in there. Pretty neat with some of the holders here. So they can pretty much claim, redeem the NFTs whenever they want, or transfer them or whatever. It's going to be fun to see that play out. All right, let's jump over to the HSIs. Currently, there are 1,186 eyes there. HSIs, Hex State Instances. Let's jump over to the Hedron Deployer. And of course, this is going to be cool. So Hedron Deployer here. Now, with the Hedron Deployer, obviously, we're looking at the fourth component now, the HSI buybacks. When you, with that, sorry, let's have a look at the Watts, I should say. Watches here. So we just had a look at the HSI buybacks here. But with Watts, you actually sell, it's a bit like the AA Lobby and Hex. You sell these tokens and you get the Watts NFTs. So we've got Ethereum, Wrapped ETH, USDC, Hex, Hedron, and Maxi. So you can use any of those to buy a Watts NFT. Remember, with Watts, you earn Icosa forever as long as you don't get unstaked from the pool. If you unstake, your Watts NFT will be burned, but you do claim the yield. And on top of that, of course, you also get a copy of all the bonuses that happen for the staking here. So it's pretty neat. All right, so let's see how much is on there. So the Hedron Deployer has received a lot of different tokens. And of course, at the moment, there's $9.8 million in the pool, which is up from yesterday. And of course, Ethereum at the moment is 383 Ethereum in there with 600K. There's Hexes in there, 63.3 million X. Remember that number. That's liquid Hex, 63.63 million. That's amazing. And that's worth $3 million. We've got Hedron there, 1.5 trillion Hedron with $2.9 million USDC. Almost $2.2 million in USDC there. Pretty cool. DAI stable around $1 million. Now Wrapped ETH there is 13.5. It's worth about 21K. But the other big number here is Maximus without a valuation. But Maximus 26.6. Sorry, let me just do that number. 26.6 million. Maximus 26.6 million. So it's up from yesterday. And that obviously $1 million Maxi was sent to the burn address by the Hedron Deployer, which is pretty amazing. And of course, the Hedron Deployer is the #1 holder of Maximus now. Controls about 9 to 10% of the Maxi supply. So a pretty big player there. Now, it's been pretty benevolent, of course, with that 1 million Maxi burn. What other things will the Hedron Deployer do in the future to support the ecosystem? Obviously, no expectations, maybe nothing. But the opening salvos have been pretty interesting. Let's see what it does over time. All right, cool. Now, I had a few theories about that. So if you look at some of these assets, you can sort of speculate on some of the possibilities with these assets. So just think about some of those different combinations of things that you might be able to do. Maybe it will do nothing. Maybe it will do none of the speculations that you think about. But if you think about the logical options that some of these things could do, that'd be pretty interesting stuff there. Now, one of the features, of course, apparently in the contract, Icosa contract, is that you can influence the Icosa Hedron payouts by doing a voluntary Hedron burn. That'd be pretty interesting. All right, cool. Let's jump over to the whale bot for the Hedron. And of course, let's we'll do a refresh here just to make sure this is the Hedron whale bot. Now, what we've been doing is adding up the HSIs. I'm going to add that one in too, actually 211. So we'll add that one in there because I think we're just in time here. 200 there as well. So cool. We had a couple there in the last hour, so that's pretty neat. So cool. So we've actually had some pretty cool stuff over the last 24 hours. So we're going to go back in time. Yeah, let me just go back. That's not quite that far. So we had our first HSI stake through the Hedron here was 888,000. And of course, then we had another one coming up here for 9.8 million. Now we saw that on the Hex Whalebot for 555, so that was huge for today, lifting the old numbers up today. And of course, what else we got going? We just had a couple more through the Hedron Whalebot. You had this three. This is too short, 9 days, so I exclude that. We've got this 150. That's too short too. 200 for 555, so that's really cool. 200. We add that in, and what else we got there? 211. So 211. That's 411. So that's cool. We're going to go to our Icosa calculator there, and of course add that in. So let me just add that in there. So 11.75 plus what did I say? 411. 4.411. That would give us 12.16. So today is 12.16. So that's 12.16 million. We're going to reasonably assume it's gone into the HSI sales there. Some of it may not be. Some may just be people just staking. But we do that. We're up to 82 million on the HSIs that have been made in the last 8 days. So that's pretty cool. And there we are for 22nd. So we take that 82 million and looking pretty good so far, and we add that to a waterfall chart there. So that's our data. Now I was going to try and color code some of this, but I haven't worked out how to do it yet, so I'll have to come back to that. But at the moment, this is kind of where we are on the Icosa sales here. So we're assuming that they're pretty much all sold back to their Icosa contract, and there we are. So we're looking pretty good at this stage. And in any case, the additional removals of Hex off the circulating supply. So it's looking good so far. And we've got Maximus coming up. Now, obviously, Tipcatcher did a bit of video, the last couple of hours on getting the team and the perpetuals and the website up to date for launch coming up in the future. So excited about that. In fact, we're only probably about 5 days away until we'll find out probably around the launch for Maximus. So that's kind of the cool stuff there. I hope you enjoyed that. This day number 8 for Icosa. Pretty nice, as we say. Let us jump back to the rest of the markets. We've got Maximus, of course, is at 8.784 cents. The premium versus Hex at the moment is looking at 80%. 80% at the moment, so it's a nice little pop back there. Got down to as low as 78% in the last hour. So nice to see it back around 80% here for most of the time. So we switch that to the daily. We will see that had a bit of volatility there, but is actually starting to come back with the premium there. So 80% looking good. And like I say, Dipcatcher have been doing video the last couple of hours on Icosa, on the Maximus Perpetuals and Team Token, getting that all ready for a launch, which is probably going to be earlier now that Pulsechain doesn't seem to be on in its form that it was. So I haven't seen anything from Team Money around that, but we are going to talk about that soon. So let's get into some of the updates around Pulsechain and stuff like that. There's nothing on the website, which is a bit weird. No really communications on Twitter either. But there have been a couple of videos around the latest in Pulsechain, so I do suggest you watching those. We've got Funding Gym and Rags to Riches just did a video earlier. So you can check this out. I'll post this in the chat there. They kind of do some updates. Now they give a few more information, just a little bit more information around Pulsechain, so you can check that out. We also got a video here on, now some of the things in here were kind of about Team Money talking to Funding Gym, and about the Friday news around that, needing something like $350,000 more money or something like that. That the hotel booking should be supported, should be still going through and things like that. So a little bit of uncertainty around that, and some of his concerns there. So it's worth watching if you want to get up to that. We also had this Pulse Masters pre-party stream as well by KSB TV. Now, if you haven't subscribed to them, this is going to be the official channel. Now they're doing lots of great stuff in Las Vegas, regardless of what happens with the official PulseCon conference there. And of course, that's looking pretty good too. So they're doing lots of cool things. They had lots of streamers on here talking about that. So you can sort of see a lot of cool people on there talking about stuff, especially the opening. If you want to hear about their view on the current status of Pulsechain and things like that, so at the beginning, definitely worth watching. So that's the second video you could watch if you want to get more up to date on that. Pulsechain 2. Let's put that, or make Pulsechain video, Pulsechain as well. KSBTV, put that in there. And so you can check that out if you like as well. So that's pretty cool. And Power City was on there too. Obviously, they're doing more stuff around at Las Vegas as well. So when there was this Pulsechain and the exhibition, obviously huge question marks over that. And I haven't seen anything further about that. Now, T-Money was supposed to come out on Monday. I'm not sure if he's done that, but I haven't seen anything on Twitter or on Pulsechain official. Now, the other thing, of course, is that around those main events were all these satellite events, and those are still going. In fact, they've been beefed up a little bit there, so it's pretty cool. And so KSB TV is got the week of September. They got on the 5th they got the Pulse Masters Golf Tournament, so that's going to be up. And of course, there's cool details around that. And then of course, so that's the golf tournament, and there's going to be lots of prizes there. Seems for different people. Obviously, the big one is the 20,000 cash by Internet Money for a hole-in-one. So it's going to be pretty cool. Now it's got all the details on there, of course, so you can check out all that. That's going to be pretty fun to see that play out. There's lots of other different passes that you can have and things like that, swag bags and special prizes for people that do, I think so, like the shortest putt and things like that. Different prizes on different holes and things. There's also on the 6th of September, DeFi 60 ladies in KSB TV doing the Rec Pleb Cabana Pool. This looks really cool. I do wish I was at this one. I love because I grew up surfing and other stuff as well, and I love sort of beachy kind of stuff like this. Fits well with me, but that looks pretty nice little setup there. I can imagine the music going and the cocktails flowing. That'll be pretty neat there. So nice. You can check that out too. What else there? We got also Power City Pulsechain Community Party. Obviously, there's been a lot of stuff around this on a Power City, and of course, Power City is on this video here that they did earlier, the Pulse Masters pre-party stream. So it's pretty cool. And of course, you got tickets for there, and they've got this big stuff here. They've got lots of people that are going to be there. Power City presents, of course, DJ Lethal, the Crystal Meth, with special guests Freddie Quotes and Black Crypto. Korean investors and stuff like that, so that's cool. And many of those people were on the stream just earlier, so that was pretty nice. Those Freddie Quotes down the bottom there. All right, so cool. And what else they got there? The Happy Hour Leaving Las Vegas meetup. So it's going to be at the Gatsby's Cocktail Lounge Resort there as well. So that's going to be cool. So that's a new one that looks like they've put together there. So that's going to be on as well. Also, Nagabo's going to have his party. So I haven't heard much about that myself, but apparently Nagabo's going to have his party. I think there's a couple other, possibly one or two other events in Las Vegas too at the time. So cool. That's pretty much it on the little Pulsechain update. But there was nothing that I saw on the website itself. So cool, check that out. I'll post this link to the meetups on KSB TV website in the chat as well if you want to check that out. If you are actually going to be in Las Vegas at the time. If you're not, you can ignore it all, right? If you're not going to go to Las Vegas, you can ignore it all. All right, cool. Let's jump out of here. We're going to close this all down, and we're going to get Hex Daily Stats coming up soon. We're going to have day number 994 coming up pretty shortly, so stay tuned for that. That's probably about 10 minutes away, so we'll get on to that one. And of course, we're going to have a look at the Hex staking ladder as well. So let's get into a bit of that. Before we do that, let's jump back to some of the charts, and we're going to get into the BNB memes and the airdrops. So let's have a look at the BNB memes. I'm not sure why Pulse Dodge, the original, is not popping up there, but it just isn't. Oh no. P33 down at 11.74 cents. This is not having too good a time at the moment. Remember, after a little jump up here, 22 cents, that is not very weak at the moment. IM at the moment is currently also looking pretty weak there at 8497. Just the way it goes. Let's have a look at the airdrops, since Pulse Dodge not coming up there. We've got the weight token currently at 0.6 of a penny. I think that's holding up pretty well. I know there's not many weight tokens, so that's probably part of it. Not many people have claimed 4 to 6%. And of course, look at that. That's pretty crazy there at 0.6. That's still going there. That's by the Coast team. And apparently they may do more stuff in the future Let's have a look at Pulse Dogecoin. Still waiting for staking and deflation. I don't know if I didn't actually check the Twitters today, but I don't think there's anything on there. We'll have a quick check just to make sure there is nothing. Let's give a look at that. Let's get into it. Pulse Bitcoin, and I don't think they've got anything on staking out at the moment. Let's have a look. 9 hours ago. I can't see anything there. 9 hours ago. Onboarding Bitcoin. Yeah, nothing out yet. So nothing out there yet from them. And that means that that's still ticking away there. So $3.84. Nothing really to make it move up unless people are going to try and front run some of these. But other than that, it's bounced off $2.95. It's currently at $3.84. That's kind of where it is. And it was, getting into oversold territory, but not quite full on yet. So, yeah, there it is. So people can speculate. That's pretty much it. All right, cool. Let us jump over. We're going to get into the Hex Daily Stats soon. Currently, we've got Hex at 4.88 cents. We've got Hedron at 19.63, and we've got 8.784 cents from Maxi with an 8% premium, and Icosa currently at $1.44. And that's where we are at the moment on the lay of the land. And we've got the Hex Daily Stats coming up, plus staking letters. We're going to talk about that shortly. We've got probably a few more comments in the chat, so let's get to that. We're up to Hex Force 1 has landed. Good evening, Hexkins. Good to see Hex Force 1. Pulse Player says, yeah, Pulsechain is done. You can't try to break something that's not finished. True that. We're looking forward to that. We're going to pretty pull up a video of Richard and the Pulsechain Pumpermentals. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is a couple minutes long, but well worth listening to. Let's find, where is this now? It's got to find it. Here it is here. So, that's not the right one. This is the one here. So we'll play. This is about 3 minutes long. So enjoy.
I go to Pulsechain does, world's largest free airdrop. I should probably tell them. Let's do it. If you guys have any coins on Ethereum, ERC20s, Hex stakes, Ethereum itself, you're going to get a free copy of all that on a chain I created called the Pulsechain. You can go play around the testnet right now. Go play with your coins. Pulsechain.com. Awesome. It's going to help get the Ethereum fees down. It's got higher throughput. It's deflationary. It burns 25% or more of the fees. There's no inflation. It never mints new coins. And it's going to be the world's largest free airdrop. So people love free money, and they don't like high fees. And this addresses all those issues. It's really cool.
So I put 10,000 into it early, super early. I bought the rumor, right?
Right.
What kind of return?
I never speak about. I'm very careful as a founder. Elon Musk isn't, so he gets sued by the SEC all the time. I don't have a security. There is no critical managerial entrepreneurial effort. There is no pool into which people put money with the expectation of profits away from the work of others. This is very specific legal language I'm using to show you that Hex removes the risk of securities. There is no middleman that can screw you. You always mint your own rewards. You always perform your own labor. You are the network. You are the effort. And so I'm very careful to make price predictions, and I almost never make them. I do them for Bitcoin, I do them for Ethereum, but in Hex, I almost never make them. And it's also harder to predict Hex, to tell the truth, because it's such, the price moves around so much. Right. It's harder to predict. So Bitcoin did 690 million%, which is a 669, what the hell? 690,000x it did. Ethereum did about 20,000x. It went from 31 cents at the crowd sale on average. You could have bought it earlier and got it lower, or you could have bought the dip on Kraken when it went to like 15 cents. Now it's $1,600, was 5,000. So it did probably 20,000x. Hex did a 10,000x. I can list you a lot of other coins that did a lot of X's. In cryptocurrency, doing a lot of X's is very possible. And so could Pulse do the same 10,000x that Hex did in the same time frame, or possibly even quicker? Yes, it could. The likelihood of that event, I don't know. And that's an important number. I'm a smart dude, but I can't predict the future.
Just like you just said earlier.
Right. Yeah. So could it do a 10,000x in 620 days, 623 days? Sure, it could. That's what Hex did. So I when I invented Hex, I wanted it to outperform Ethereum, and Ethereum had done a 14,000x in 2.5 years is what it did. It went from 31 cents to $1,400, maybe $1,500, depending on what exchange you're using. And it did that over 2.5 years. And I said, well, we've got better game theory. I coined the term pumpamentals. I don't use that term as often because people are, don't think it's as funny as they once did. And so like, we beat that target. And now, I look at the Pulsechain chat room, there's 60,000 people in it. I look at the Hex chat room, there's only 40,000 people in it. And Hex has been around for years.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think Pulsechain has a lot of really strong advantages in that it's easier to understand. Yeah, it's Ethereum, but it's faster, higher throughput, cheaper, and the world's largest free airdrop. And it saves the environment. Like,
no brainer.
No brainer. Right. Like, it's a
this
no-brainer.
coin does something. This thing does something.
Yeah.
All right, so there we are. There's a pretty inspiring video around the possibilities of 10,000x and things like that for Pulsechain. All right, cool. We've got a couple of questions in there. John Gibbons, can you mint more than 1 Watts of NFT from the same wallet? And of course, Robbie answers that. Yes, John, you can sacrifice as often as you want for new NFTs. You can have as many as you want in your wallet there. As I showed you earlier in the chart there, some people had over 100 NFTs in there. I think it was right. Yeah, 123, something like that. Superman, to have 55,555 subs by Christmas if mainnet launch, says J-Pon. That's pretty hilarious. I like your bullish thinking there. Hit the like to show your support, says Fat Sammy. Absolutely. Appreciate that. It's for the Hex Token channel members in the house. Wake Dog says stake Hex more Hex and get Hedron. Stake Hedron and get Icosa. Stake Icosa and get more Icosa and Hedron. I like that, Wake Dog. I like that a lot. I love how you get more and more of everything. John Gibbons, thanks, Robbio. Summer Solstice in the house. What's up, Superman? Good to see you in Summer Solstice. Andrew Reynolds, g'day everybody from sunny Sydney. What's up, Hex Token? Hey, Andrew, always a pleasure to see you in the house. Yeah, your mic sounds very bassy, very bassy. Yeah, I don't know why that is. I guess it's just the way it goes sometimes. The PulseCon organizer probably gambled the free entry millions. That's why he asking for 350, says Wake Dog. Yeah, I because we're no drama channel, we don't typically talk about the details, but it doesn't hasn't been generally good based on some of the comments that some of the people that are probably in the know. So yeah, it doesn't look too good at all. The golf tournament is a great idea. Events in general are a great way to onboard a family and friends. True that. Ted Nelson in the house. Hey everybody, good to see you. And Refine's in there too. Good to see Refines. What else we got going on in the chat there? Roderick Batches, what bills are those in Richard's pockets? Yeah. I don't know. Were they real? I guess they were real. Look like C notes to me, says it's Brian. Man, I'm looking, says Charity, forward to Pulse launch. Feels like it's taking forever and a big capitalization there. So it's going to be a while. Yeah, we've got to be patient. At least several more months, probably. Let's see how we get on there. No one knows the exact date, but imagine that the December, January the time frame is probably looking more and more likely. But you just never know. You just never know with the Richard Hart. So we will find out. All right, this is current price. We've got Hex at just under 4.9 cents. We've got Hedron at 1964, which is a good year. 1964. We've got 80% premium of Maxi over Hex, and Icosa at $1.44, tied very closely to the Hex HSIs. All right, let's get onto the Hex Day stats. I'm not quite sure yet. It's not quite up yet. Maybe a couple of minutes, maybe 2-3 minutes until that comes up. Let's have a quick look at the staking in the meantime. This is the next 12 months on the staking ladder. This is the global staking ladder. So global meaning everybody stakes that everybody's got. And of course, this is just the 12 months in the future here. So we're looking in the year ahead. And of course, we've got this big stake coming out on the 1st of September, 1,256,000,000 Hex. Now that was much lower candle, around about 700-800 million or somewhere there in that ballpark. It's been topped up with some of the stakes that have come out in early August, and they just ended up restaking and jumping on top of this big candle here on the 1st of September. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We've still got the front of the wave too. There's a lot of the short stakers. So let's say what are we up to now? It's August, September, October. So kind of this here is our short-term stakers here. And of course, maybe even up to December there. They're kind of our short-term stakers. They stake like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Sometimes some people, depending on how much they got a week, every week, they're sort of staking and, of course, just scraping interest. As they do that, of course, they slowly get diluted from the share rate, which is only going up and to the right. especially if they don't reinvest their interest and they're just scraping that off for I don't know, whatever, buy the next Lambo, who knows. But this kind of the front of the wave. But what we're seeing that over time, this is breaking up all the time. So breaking up as we move ahead, every month it's looking different and different. And of course, previously we used to have heaps of billion candles, but of course we've had massive amount of sacrifices, and that's why, and other things that have been going on that have been breaking this up. And as we move forward, so cool. That's where we are at the stage. And yeah, look at the future, and there looks not too bad. We've got quite a few candles here in January. You can see, look at January full of quite a few candles here, and February. So they've 200 million that one, 200 million that one. So this has got 200 million. It's got 300 million there as well. So cool. Some obviously we've got OA account, OA stakes as well. I keep meaning to talk about that. You're definitely got to talk about it coming up, maybe in the second live stream. Might look at deeper dive into the global stakes with the OAs. What we believe of the OAs anyway. So we'll do that too. All right, cool. We're waiting for day 994. I'm sure it's going to come out shortly. We'll get to that when it does. We're currently on a day 995. We're so close to 1,000 days. Woohoo! So yeah, 5 days away, including today, we will get up to, and then it will be day 1,000. That's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be such a good substantiator for Hex. People will say, "Oh, do you know much about Hex? Hex hasn't been around long. Hex hasn't done too much. It's been around for over 1,000 days, dude." And they're like, "Oh, whoa, really? Over 1,000 days? Yeah, it's been around for over 1,000 days. How many people are using it? Oh, this many people. Over 308,000 stakers and 308,000 watt holders, and over 100,000. Was it about 106,000? Sorry, stakers. So it's not, it's pretty crazy. So that's coming up. So we're going to talk about that shortly. Let's just leave it on the price chart here with Bitcoin, and see what other comments we've got in the house. We wait for the daily stats to come up. Hexog's late, definitely like that one. Fat 70 says the late is a blessing to DCA and prep. Yeah, so some of the benefits from the delay have been dollar cost averaging. You can dollar cost average. You've had more opportunity to pick up more bigger volumes of Hex, which has been pretty awesome for a lot of people. Obviously, it can be frustrating for some people in terms of passive income. Most of our polling has showed a lot of people want passive income. So that's pretty interesting. We also probably seen some changes in behavior around people going to ratio trade Pulsechain from Pulse. I think there's probably a little bit weaker narrative than it used to be. So it's going to be interesting to see that. What else we got? DCA and people picking up a lot more. The amount of dApps for Pulsechain just blowing up, and more dApps getting ready to launch on Pulsechain. So it's going to be awesome from that point of view. So if we're still a couple months away, we could reasonably have 200 plus dApps, coming out for that as well. So that's bullish. So more dApps, bigger communities continue to increase. We have seen some of the YouTubers, particularly content influencers on other platforms, to start to sort of, I think they're starting to ramp up again a little bit there. There was quite a bit of a quiet period in those, especially when Bitcoin was crashing. Some of them, they're probably the first time they've been in a bear market, some of the content creators, so they just started quieting down and stuff like that. But the fact is, you just got to be consistent, and because accumulating in bear markets is just such a great thing. And then when the next sort of bull market, whether it's a local bull market, parabolic or not, you benefit, right? You benefit. So that's pretty cool. John Gibbons says, I don't want to promote drama talk, but just as Polkon be called off. So you're the only channel I listen to, says John. Hey, John. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, that's why I posted those videos. There's a full detail in those videos above. But basically, it doesn't look too good at this stage. So yeah, I haven't seen, T-Money was supposed to give an update on Monday. I have not seen anything yet, but if I do find something, I'll let you know in the second live stream later today, but I've seen nothing official. The only two videos that just came out earlier, like prior for me, live streaming, were those two videos that I posted on the channel above. And one was funding Jim. It definitely didn't look too good there, but definitely the satellite events are on. So KSB TV, Power City, Nagabo, that stuff's all on in Pulse in Las Vegas. I'm not sure what form Pulse, the actual official Pulse conference or anything, will have. Looks like it's not looking good at this stage, is all I would say. C notes $100 bills, says Brian. Nice one. What else there? Old slang there with it. When Pulse 1 day closer, TB. We are 1 day closer to Pulsechain. John says, thanks, Fat Sammy. I hope everyone gets their money back. Yeah, that's the big thing. I think Funding Jim talks about that in his videos. The first video I posted, he talks about that. So definitely check it out. Now, I haven't had time to watch all those videos, so that's why I don't want to give a full summary of those videos. It's probably better just watching them because, yeah, they just all came out. I got those too late in the show before I went live. DB Cooper in house there. Howdy all. Hey, DB. Hope so too. It seems community are trying to deal with it in a civil way, which is good. Side events popping up. Yeah, that's true, Fat Sammy. It's a good summary. That's at least 5K to 10K just in his top pockets. Yeah. Talking about Richie Rich there. What else we got there? Lies Beneath is in house. Hello, how are you today? Very good. Hey all, Hex, EHEX, and PLSX for the 100%. That is the maxi strategy for sure. Big X returns potentially. I wonder if it's a hint to spend big now, says Rick Patrick. Yeah. He says he was balling it in Miami. Richard was actually having a great time in Miami. He was on big streamers. He was at the parties. He was really hitting up the clubs there. Thanks, Suitman. I hadn't checked out those videos you posted. All good, John. Yeah, I just hadn't had a good chance to summarize them all, so it's just better that you watch them in full there, John. Cool. That's as much as I would know. So there we are. But if we see anything from T-Money come out as was expected on Monday, which has not come out as far as I know, but maybe there's been tweets out. I don't know. I haven't seen them if they have. All right, cool. Currently, we've got BTC at 21,376. We've got ETH at $1,600 and BNB just trying to hold on to $300 at the moment. That's kind of where that is. We've got the Hex charts at the moment. We've got Hex at just under 4.9 cents. We've got Hedron at 1964. We've got Maxi at 8.8 cents, just under 8.8 cents, and $1.44 for Icosa. Let's see if we've got the Hex daily stats are not quite out yet. It is kind of due, so it'll probably out any minute now, and we'll get up to that. I don't think there was anything from Richard today. I think he's probably pretty quiet. I think he's returned to Europe, I believe. So yeah, there was this cool thing in the Sunday Times from Mexican Girl. The Sunday Times, one of the biggest newspapers in the UK. Looks like Richard is becoming a household name. So that was this one here. It's got Richard down the bottom here. This came out yesterday. I saw this yesterday actually. So what does it say? With garnished displays of wealth, influencers such as Heart encourage other people to invest in digital coins like Hex. So it's got a little article about there. So that's nice. It's definitely getting a lot more press as we lead into Pulsechain. Whenever Pulsechain launches, it's definitely getting more press there. All right, cool. If you haven't joined Discord, hit the link in the video description. Our Discord is doing pretty well. We've headed up to 654 people. We've got really great moderators. Brian, of course, in the house. Fat Sammy, Sandy Beach as well. Flying Alex is in there today. Nice to see Flying Alex. And, of course, syndicated as well with two other YouTubers, Craig Wadding and then, and, of course, Heinz Crypto as well. So big shout out to them. Their channels continue to grow as well. So very cool. If you want like cool community and good information, definitely a place to be. We have useful links, which have all these cool links on Hex and Pulsechain and PulseX. Definitely worth checking it out from market trading just to information sites, to Hex audits, Hex contracts, layman guides, everything that you possibly want if you want to get up to speed with how Hex works and Pulsechain and PulseX. Get in there. Lots of stuff to read up there. And of course, also we've got video tutorials there on Pulsechain Bridge and PulseX tutorials there if you want to play around with the exchange. Now, these are the two topics that Richard always encourages people to practice with before Pulsechain launches, so that you're up to speed and don't have any issues there. So definitely playing around with those. And also, if you want to look at new tokens, all the new tokens coming onto the project, we've got Pulsechain news here, over 100 projects. In fact, let's have a look. Hit that at the moment because it's doing pretty amazing. You can see it lists all the projects coming onto Pulsechain, and this is probably missing some as well. I mean, this list does its best to get projects on there, but it's probably more than what's even on here. So that's pretty good. The other thing, of course, is the Pulse Police. Join them on Telegram. particularly if you're going to be claiming some airdrop that's come around, don't just cowboy airdrops, because if you cowboy airdrops and it's a malicious airdrop, they will drain your wallet. And we've had a couple of instances recently where that's the case. And of course, it's just a big warning to you to be very careful, particularly if you've got your wallet with your Hex stakes in it, or this or that. You don't want to compromise those. You know, if you think that Hex is still very early, which I do, then you want to protect those Hex stakes as much as you can, because these guys don't care about you. They will drain. They set up bots. These bots will drain your wallet once they get access to things. If you've given them approvals, anything like that, they will drain your wallet. They do not care. They'll sweep your wallet as well. So if you have like maybe Hex stakes mature, within a minute or two, they could sweep your wallet. They'll have wallets possibly going back and just looping around, checking your wallets, things like that. So it's a bit of a race between the wallets. Now, if you do get a wallet compromised, I understand that How to Pulse has got a solution. So if you do have any issues, probably best to contact them. And they have some sort of solution. I don't think they've formally come out with it yet, but you can contact How to Pulse. So I think Walrus and his team there have got some form of solution. Now, may not help in every situation, but I think it is helping a lot of people in quite a few situations. So definitely something worth following up with them. I haven't heard anything else since that, so that's just my recollection of what they've got going there. But once again, best just not to keep away from phishing sites. If you get tokens dropped to your wallet on Etherscan, all those fake grey ones, do not interact with them at all, because they're going to jump you to phishing sites, and you never know what they could get. Put little worm code onto your software. Obviously, you should have, if you can, have a VPN, have a Norton antivirus, things like that. Have your basics in there to help reduce the exposure, because you just don't know what kind of exposure that you're going to get with those. So just take care. Better to do nothing, right, than to compromise your big portfolio that you're building up there on the crypto. The other thing, of course, is sacrifices. If you're still looking those are all up and running. So you can check those out every now and then. The website's up there and you can see all the latest ones that are currently going on there. And obviously, you have to decide which are good and which are not so good. And of course, will any of them actually outperform a Pulsechain or Pulsechain? You can ask yourself that too in terms of allocating your portfolio. It's something you should ask yourself also. So cool. That's great on this. If you like cool information, good community, get into there. So the link is in the video description. Then we've got a couple of new people in the house. Yeah, we've got Dale in today. So cool. We'll give Dale's already got a Pulsechain there. Who was that? Fat Sammy. Nice one, Fat Sammy, in the house there as well. And yesterday we had Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne. Can you believe it? Bruce Wayne. Hastings there. Hastings, a Sexy Panini, and Keymash 13 there in the house yesterday. So welcome to all of them. Very cool. Let's jump over to Hex Day Stats. Day 994. Woohoo! Hot off the press. Let's get into it. So the 22nd of August. And of course, we've got the price down just almost 1% at 4.865 cents, which is pretty much the current market price. The payout per T-share is 6.13 Hex per T-share. And of course, T-share price is $1,130. The T-share rate, another dot day, 2 dot days in a row. Wow, that means it hasn't gone up in the last 2 days. It's currently at 23,231 Hex per T-share. And remember, you can get this for a third of the price if you decide to stake for 10 years. Every year that you stake, you get 20% more shares. So it reduces the cost of this. So pretty cool. Now, the average stake length for all Hex stakes is currently 6.55 years. This has been helped a lot by HSI stakes through Icosa over the last 8 days. So this has definitely gone up quite a lot, really, on average. Well, not so much then. It's pretty much, it's certainly been helped, that's for sure, with the exercise. We're at the average percentage yield rate, yield and emergency and state penalties, 37.79%. We've got 222 million Hex in the pool, similar to yesterday. And of course, USDC at 13.9 million, up from yesterday as well. So interesting, they've obviously had some liquidity changes in the pool, as well as the price movements, which is slightly down 1%. Liquidity in the pool, 1,333 Ethereum there. Let's jump over to the T-shares. T-shares, remember there's a reward pool in Hex and an ownership pool. That's how simple Hex is. The reward pool has inflation and penalties in it. And of course, the ownership pool has T-shares or trillions of shares, as we call it. And there are 10.5, just under 10 or just over 10, what was it we call it? 10,458,000 T shares. That's how many there are, up 1,308 today. So there used to be over 11 million, so it's definitely gone down a lot. Now, let's move some of these. We've got currently staked 9.64% of all Hex is staked at the moment. And you can see that the staked amount of coins at the moment is just under 62 billion Hex. And the OA has probably around about 12-13% of that is staked by the OA there. Penalties today pretty low, 290,000. Here are the cool numbers I like looking at lately. Is the stake is up 169, so definitely tapered off a little bit here, but still pretty nice numbers. 169. We're currently at 105,706 stakers. The wallets are up 47 to 308,903, so 308,000, almost 309,000 there. Total stakers up 191 to 132,889, and total holders up to 487,866, up 304. We're not too far away from hitting the 500,000 target on there. But the real numbers are the current stakers up at 169. Hex is all about accumulating T shares, and we've had some pretty nice numbers over the last 10 days. Icosa's been a massive driver of that, in addition to normal direct promotions and spreading of the word there around Hex. So very exciting. Woohoo! All right, so we're on day 995. Only 5 more days away till 1,000 days. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get into it. Let's go, as we say. We're going to jump back to the Hex charts there. Cool. We're coming up to an hour and 2 minutes. What else we got going on in the chat there? Dave Down Under says, how many other Hex Pulsechain content creators are over 555? I do not know, Dave. I do not know that number. That number's not on the query. I could actually probably add that up. But if I'm thinking about it, I'm probably thinking maybe 20, 25, something like that. 20 to 25 is my guess, Dave, if you were to make me guess on that. How many are over 20,000? You're probably looking at 1, 2, maybe 5 over 20, and one of those was already in another, would have been in another one. So the million channel, they used to promote a lot of other projects, so they've switched into Hex and Pulsechain a lot. So yeah, maybe 5 over 20k all up. And maybe between 10 and 20, maybe there are 10, maybe there are 8 to 10, maybe 10, 8 to 10 in that range, the 10-20 mark. We've just had two channels just go over the 10, haven't we, recently? And between 5 and 10, I don't know. There may be, how many have I added up? 10, 15, 5 and 10. Okay, maybe there's more than that. Maybe 30. Maybe there's another 10, maybe 15 or something like that, between 5 and 10. That's kind of my guesses straight off the bat there. It's now Brian says all the side events as a group should call themselves Pulse XCon. Yeah, that's nice one, Brian. All right, so Brendan says, Superman, you need to add Maximus Perpetual link for the test network. The Maximus Perpetual link for the test network. I have got the Maximus Perpetuals, but I haven't checked out the video today, but did catch you on Discord. Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I've got the links, but I haven't put them up there. Okay, I'll try and add that, Brendan. Hex Days is updated. Yeah, we just went through that, so it was cool. All right, very nice. I was going to try not to say that again today, but I just did it. That was an accident. All right, so yeah, we have played around with those. I've got those links. Maybe I will put them on there. They'll be over though pretty soon though. It's like no point putting them there unless, because I'm sure they're going to have updated site for this. Haven't watched the video today with Dipcatcher. They did a live stream on this. Yeah, so I'll probably look at that later. They're trying to wrap this up on the 28th, so hopefully that will all go smooth and we'll get a launch date. That would be cool. All right, one more time. Very nice. That's Brennan. You trickster there, Brennan. Very nice. There we are. Did the 3 times. That's enough. We've got to stop doing it. It's a bad habit. Once you start doing these little catchphrases, you're stuck. You're stuck in there, and it just repeats itself. I watched a bit of the movie last night. That was The Man from Snow River. It was actually a pretty good movie, actually, and it wasn't too bad. All right, let's. We're going to play a little bit of since we've been talking about the KSB TV. We're going to play a bit of the golf ad here for the KSB TV. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is coming up.
Join Hex Ladies at the Pulse Masters Golf Tournament on September 5th, 2022. This event is the official kickoff to PulseCon Las Vegas. Individuals and teams of 4 of every skill level are invited to party with us on the golf course at the renowned Revere Golf Club. There will be 2 shotgun start times. This is an event you do not want to miss. Come mix and mingle with golfers and influencers from all over the crypto space. Visit ksb.tv/golf for more info and to donate. You can also donate to Hex Ladies on Cash App.
Two, one, swing. That's looking good. Oh, yeah. That's in the hole. Whoa. That's in. That's it.
All right, so there's a couple ads there around the golf tournament. Woogie's got cool Vit, says John Gibbons. Cool Vit, is it? Cool Vip. Frank Sammy, you even got me saying very nicely recently again, Fat Sammy. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I do apologize. Well, Mole made media for this event, says Fat Sammy. True that. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Take it to the sheets. Take it to the sheets. Is that how it goes? The Godfather. Take it to the sheet. Take it to the sheets. Something like that. Take it to the sheets. I'll work on that one, but I think it's actually slightly different, the term words. All right, the good old Godfather there. All right, so cool. We've got things moving along pretty nicely at the moment. The market's kind of almost paused, haven't they? Almost like just gone. They're all kind of almost in stasis. They haven't really not moving too much at the moment. So it's going to be interesting. We're currently it's Tuesday the 23rd here. Currently at 22 minutes to 1 o'clock here on Tuesday the 23rd in good old Kiwi land from the future. Woohoo! Rock on. All right, so we're going to wrap up. I'm going to be back on again later on today. So I'll be back on in about 5 hours' time with our second live stream. So we'll catch up. I'll try and have any new updates in that live stream as well. So stay tuned for that. We got Hexiest is in house. Your tutorials got me over the hump and helped me successfully into the Icosa ecosystem. Big thanks. Hexiest, that's really great to hear. And as a content creator, we try to help make people make it easier for people to get over things, so and get into things. So well done, Hexiest. Appreciate that. CJ in the house. Hello, peeps. Good to see CJ in the house. Woohoo! And Brennan says he say hello to my little friend. Says Brennan. Hey, good one, Brennan. Good times. Good call. Good times. Nice one. And Hex and PLSD are almost stable coins at the moment, says Roderick Patrick. Yeah, it seems like that. Seems like that for sure. All right, so cool. I'll be back on in 5 hours' time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the likes, and hit the bell for future videos. We are going to be having a lot of fun, man, as we wait for Pulsechain patiently and diligently. And, of course, when it comes, this place is going to blow up like crazy. And I mean that in a good way, right? Good way. So, cool. All right, I'm going to play out a funky song on the way up. Maybe 2 songs. Let's see how we go. We're going to start off. We're going to start with Liquid Lions, and then we're going to get into Power City Core, and then we're going to get into the Pulsechain song. So enjoy. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Woohoo! Rock on.